Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Working Class Finances. Today we're going to talk about some of the most common retirement accounts, that being the Roth IRA and the 401k. I'm Ryan and let's get into it. So first up, we're going to talk about the Roth IRA. This is a retirement account where you take money from your checking or savings account, put it in the retirement account, and then once you're retired, you can withdraw all the money from it tax-free. The other advantage to this account is that it typically has the widest selection of investment options. You can have mutual funds, ETFs, or you can even do individual stocks if that's what you're interested in. There is a max contribution of $6,000 per year, and there is also an income limit. So if you're single and make more than $140,000 a year, or married filing jointly making more than $208,000 a year, you cannot contribute to a Roth IRA, but most people make less than that amount. So the tax-free withdrawals once you're retired is a very good benefit for this account. You can withdraw your contributions from the Roth IRA at any point without paying any penalties, but it's not recommended. That also only applies to the money that you contributed into the Roth IRA. If you start to withdraw any money from the change in value from the investments, that money, if it's withdrawn early, will be subject to a 10% early withdrawal fee and income tax. I really like the Roth IRA. My wife and I both have a Roth IRA just so we can have the tax-free withdrawals once we retire. Next up, we have the 401k. This is a retirement account that's available to you through your employer. Unlike the Roth IRA that is funded through your checking account or savings account, the 401k is taken directly out of your paycheck before you pay taxes on that money. Contributing to a retirement account in this way has a couple of advantages. First off, the money is taken out of your check before it even reaches your bank account, so you never even see it leaving your checking account, so it's like it was never there in the first place. Second up, since this is taken off of your check before you pay taxes on it, this also reduces the amount of your taxable income. So if you make $50,000 a year and you contribute $5,000 a year into your 401k, now your taxable income, instead of being $50,000 a year, is down to $45,000 a year. And third is that the 401k is also eligible for the Savers Credit if you meet certain income requirements. If you're eligible for the Savers Credit, the federal government will give you a tax credit based on how much you contribute to your 401k. So this would mean that your 401k contributions would first lower your taxable income, and then you get a second tax credit on top of that if you're eligible for it. Another possible advantage to the 401k is if your company offers employer matching for the 401k. For example, the company I work for offers employer matching up to 4%. So that means if I contribute 4% of my paycheck to my 401k, my employer will also contribute 4% to my 401k, bringing my total contributions up to 8%. Another advantage to the 401k is that it has a much higher contribution limit than a Roth IRA does. The Roth IRA, the annual contribution limit is $6,000, and the 401k, the annual contribution limit is $19,500. There are a couple downsides to the 401k. You cannot keep contributing to your 401k after you leave your company. And you might be able to roll your old 401k over to the new company, or you can roll it into a traditional IRA, but you can't keep the same 401k and keep contributing to it. A second disadvantage is there are typically fewer investment options in 401ks than Roth IRAs. And the third disadvantage is that you do have to pay income tax on the money you receive from your 401k once you're retired, because the money you contributed was put in before you paid income taxes on it. You can also take a loan from your 401k. In most situations, you'll want to avoid this, but under certain circumstances, it may be the best option for you. So my method for contributing to my retirement accounts: first, I contribute 4% of my paycheck to my 401k. That maxes out my employer match, so I can take advantage of all that free money offered by the employer. Next up, My wife and I each have a Roth IRA, and we max those out for each year. After we max out the Roth IRAs, then I go back to my 401k and I increase the percentage that I contribute to the 401k. So that's what I do for my retirement investing. I start with my 401k, I go to my Roth IRAs, max those out, and then any money that's left over for retirement investing goes back into the 401k. Your situation might be a little bit different. If your employer doesn't offer employer matching for the 401k and they don't have good investment options for it, you might want to skip the 401k and just start with a Roth IRA, and then if you have money left over after that, then you can put that into a 401k. So that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below in the comments. Bye.